Welcome to Alexander Hamilton Memorial Free Libraries program this morning in support of First Responders Appreciation Month. Thank you to the Waynesboro Police Department for partnering with us and allowing their canine team, Officer Huntington and Bushta, to be with us today. A special thanks also to Officer Wolf for assisting. We hope you enjoy our program and perhaps learn a little more about what the role of a canine team is in serving the community.
Hello everybody, this is Officer Huntington. I'm with the Waynesboro Police Department. Canine officer. I've been on for about 3 years with the Borough Police Department. This is my brand new partner. This is Canine Bushta. Bushta was donated to us by a resident, Mr. James Bushta, hence the name. He was donated as a 9-week-old puppy. He's been living with me ever since. And Bushta has just recently completed his training at Castle's Canine to be a dual-purpose canine. So basically what dual-purpose canine means is he is trained in suspect apprehension, he's trained in narcotics detection, he's trained in tracking, and he's trained as article searching and building searches as well. So I'll go through each of those individually and you can see what Bushta is going through. But Bushta is a little bit about him. He's about a 14-month-old. He's a Belgian Malinois. It's pretty much a Belgian Malinois. It's like a German Shepherd. You typically see those more so as police dogs, but a Malinois is a little smaller. They're a little bit more lean, and they're fast. So that's why they're typically seen now as police dogs. Another thing that he is trained in is suspect apprehension. So we're going to see a demonstration on this as well. A suspect apprehension is when we have an individual who's committed a certain level of crime and who flees and attempts to resist arrest or elude police officers, and we are able to send the canine on an apprehension. And so pretty much Bushta would be sent. He is trained to bite the individual and hold them so that we can catch up, because they're a lot faster than us, so we can catch up and take the suspect into custody. So what this is going to be an suspect apprehension. I'm going to give commands to the suspect to send the dog on a bite. Waynesboro Police Canine, suspect, come here with your hands up or I'll send the dog, you will get bit. Nope. Waynesboro Police Canine, suspect, come here with your hands up or I'll send the dog, you will get bit. Nope. Woo! Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good boy. Good boy. Woo! Good boy, good boy. Good boy, good boy. Good boy, good boy. Good boy, good boy. Suspect, walk away from your hands up. So what you just saw was a suspect apprehension conducted by Canine Bushta. So the canine, like I said earlier, is an essential tool when it comes to multiple different things that we can do. The suspect apprehension is good when we have an individual that could potentially have a weapon on him or isn't listening to commands for whatever reason. Maybe they're under the influence of something. It's a key tool in apprehending the suspect, and it helps prevent injury to both the suspect and the officer. Another thing that Bushta is trained in is tracking. So the way they use tracking, we can use it for various reasons. He can track a suspect through a field, through various surfaces. He could track someone that wanders away from their home, a child or an elderly person, whatever the case may be. Bushta is trained on locating that human scent through the crushed grass, any sort of crushed vegetation, anything of that sort where human scent is given off. He is trained in locating that person, following that track right up into where that person may be. So what you see right now is Officer Wolf is assisting us, and she's laying a track for canine Bushta. So pretty much, like I explained earlier, Bushta's trained to detect human odor and any sort of crushed vegetation, grass, whatever that case is right now. So what she's doing is she's taking his favorite toy, and she's laying a track with her odor all over it, and she's going to hide that toy at the end of it so that the canine simulates tracking a human with finding his favorite toy at the end. So when he finds that person, finds whatever he's supposed to get, in his head he thinks, okay, well now I get my favorite toy. And that's the biggest thing with these canines, is they're very toy and ball like motivated. And that's why they use these types of dogs, because they're motivated so much by their favorite toy. So we can use that to help them train for these various reasons. So what you saw just there was a track that canine Bushta did. Now that was just a relatively short track, just for example purposes, but I wanted you guys to be able to see kind of how he operates. So like I mentioned, Officer Wolf laid the track, and at the end of the track she put his favorite toy, and she took some grass clippings and she hid it so he couldn't just find it with his eyes. That meant he had to put his nose down, he had to look for it. And you can see Bushta's nose was right down and followed that track the whole way, and even made the turns right as Officer Wolf made them. And that's exactly what we want. We want him to find that, associate that human odor with that track with his favorite toy, because that just builds their drive, and they're able to work a lot harder to find whatever we're trying to find, whether it be a person, an article, whatever the case may be. So one of the things that Canine Bushta is trained in is article searches. So for example, an article search would be if a suspect runs into an open field or an open area and he drops something of value, something that could help us identify him later on, or a piece of evidence, you know, such as a wallet, a gun, a set of keys, anything of that sort. Bushta is trained on locating these articles. The way he does it is pretty much he's taught that the scent that emanates from that article kind of pushes up in the air, and their noses are so much stronger than humans that they're able to pick up on that and detect it a lot quicker than humans were. So you'll see a demonstration here. I'll put him on a long line, and I'll let him out in an open field where I throw articles out, and I'll let him attempt to locate those articles. When he locates an article, he is trained to go down into the down position as a way of notifying me that he found something, and I can go and I can check and see what it was, and I can pick it up or leave it and pick, you know, whatever the case may be. So this is going to be the article search demonstration. So what you're about to see in a second here is I'm going to go and grab a couple articles that I have, and I'm going to throw them out into this open field for Canine Bushta to locate. And like we mentioned earlier, he's trained to detect the odor from that object, whatever that article is, emanating from the ground up, and he's able to locate it. He really helps with his sense of smell. It's a lot easier for him to locate an item out in an open field than it is for a bunch of officers out, especially at night with flashlights and everything trying to find it. So I'm going to go grab some of these right now, and I'll throw these out and you can see how it works. So I'm going to throw out 3 different items. This is a fake gun, we're going to have a mint can, and we're going to have a pill bottle. So I'm going to just throw these out, let them sit, and we'll let Canine Bushta go to work and find them. Bushta's first item that he found, pill bottle. Yep, good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Find it. Find it. Yep, good boy. Yeah. Last article he found, fake gun laying in the field. So what you just saw right there was an example of an article search that Bushta conducted. As I mentioned earlier, Bushta's trained in locating articles, various types of articles, whatever it may be, something that someone may drop after they've ran from the scene. He can assist big time when it comes to locating all that. He can see and smell a lot more than humans can, so he's great when it comes. He's a great essential tool when it comes to that point. As mentioned earlier, another thing that Bushta is trained in is narcotics detection. He is certified through the North American Police Work Dog Association as a narcotics detection canine. He is trained in the detection of cocaine, methamphetamine, and heroin. Unfortunately, we aren't able to demonstrate his narcotics detection. We don't have any packaged narcotics at the moment. We're in the process of working on obtaining some of those so we can use that training both at work and at home, whenever the case may be. But he is trained to locate, and it's very similar to his way of locating articles and tracking. He's given the same command to find, and he can distinguish when it's time to look for narcotics and when he's looking for articles. And he can find narcotics in any sort of area, open area, a building, a room, a vehicle, whatever the case may be. To wrap everything up, I just wanted to thank you guys for coming along with me today and getting to see Bushta work and be in action, as well as get to see me kind of be on the other end of the leash of everything. I wanted to thank the community as well for your continued support throughout this entire journey that we've had together, and we're very excited for the future to come. He's a young pup, I'm a young handler, so we have a lot of learning to do, but I couldn't have asked for a better dog to do it. So I just wanted to thank you guys again for everything you guys have done to help make this happen. And if you guys want to continue your support, you can contact our police department. We'll put you in with the right people to talk to. We greatly appreciate everyone's help thus far, and we look forward to seeing everybody out. Anytime you guys see us riding around in our car, feel free to wave us down so you can meet K-9 Bushta. Thank you, everybody.